My name is Sarah Woodbury. I'm here today with my husband Dan to talk about Conwy Castle.
So the last couple weeks you've talked about the Edwardian conquest and the Iron Ring of castles, and Conwy's kind of the perfect example.
Yes, you're right. Conwy Castle was built, as were all these other great castles, to subdue the Welsh after the 1282 war. It was built as part of this Iron Ring, begun in 1283 and finished by 1289 to the tune of 15,000 pounds, roughly 10 million in today's value. The prior castle had been Conwy, which is located sort of across the bay from Conwy Castle.
There are two outcroppings that you can see from here, the larger one on the left and the smaller one. Conwy, which was a seat of the Welsh princes along with Aberfraw, and Abergarth Celyn was located there. It was completely destroyed before this Conwy Castle was built.
It had been destroyed during the wars with Henry III, Edward's father, and it is in fact in the ruins of Conwy that Edward camped in March of 1283, looked across the water and said, "I'm going to build my castle there." The castle itself is built on the western side of the Conwy River, which is significant because it means it's a foothold into Gwynedd. It guards an important river crossing as well as the pass into Snowdonia. The castle was, like many of the Iron Ring, designed by James of St. George, that master architect. In the case of Conwy, it's a little more compact than some of the others, with 2 wards and 8 towers, but no external curtain wall. In order to build the castle, Edward had to destroy 2 Welsh structures. One was the Abbey of Aberconwy, a Cistercian abbey patronized by the Welsh princes. He moved it further south and renamed it Margam Abbey. He also destroyed Llywelyn Llys, or palace, and we've talked a lot about the palaces in other videos. One of the things that Edward did commonly in building this Iron Ring was to take pieces of Llywelyn's palaces, here Carnarvon or Harlech or whatever, and rebuild them inside his own castle. At Conwy in particular, he destroyed it and incorporated one wall of the Great Hall into Conwy's town wall. And if you go there today, there are 3 window seats, the only windows in the town wall, and that is where Llywelyn Llys was located. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Edward's decision to do this was more than a matter of recycling.
It was symbolic.
It was definitely symbolic.
You'll see the Welsh flag flying above Conwy Castle here, which is ironic, if nothing else, in that Edward was Norman, conquered Wales and built this castle to subdue the Welsh people, and now it is one of the most visited castles in Wales.
So the castles were the administrative center of the area, and we've talked about this in prior videos, that had a real impact on the lives of the native Welsh people. The castle not only included the castle itself and the associated garrison, but an English town. English settlers brought in, planted into Wales for an English presence in the country. Welsh were not allowed in the town after dark. A member of every Welsh family was required to attend the local market, which meant that they couldn't herd their sheep and cattle up and down the pastures in the mountains as they had done in the past. Also, Welsh law was replaced almost entirely by English common law. There was now an English system of counties, of sheriffs, of coroners, and all the administrators were English or Norman. Very likely none of them spoke Welsh. In essence, Conwy not only had the practical purpose of standing as a deterrent to rebellion, but as a very real symbol of English dominance, to the point that it was not attacked or taken until 1401, the time of Owain Glyndwr, and then by subterfuge. The symbol was taken to its logical conclusion with the building of Carnarvon Castle, also in 1283, and we're going to talk about that castle next week. If you like this video, click on the playlist or subscribe to my channel. There'll be a new video next week. And if you want to check out my books, click on the link to my webpage.